Joining me now, David Ehrenberg, state attorney for Trump's hometown of Palm Beach County, Florida, and a good friend to us. Good to see you, Dave. So let's get into this because we have first the hush money sentencing, where the judge cited the election as one of the reasons for the delay. Do you agree it should be pushed back, or is the judge now tipping the political scales, as he did not intend to, by withholding Trump's punishment from voters until after the election?
Good to be back with you, Alex. I don't agree with the decision to postpone this till after the election. This treats Trump differently than every other defendant. Trump supporters are right. There is a two-tiered system of justice, but they're wrong that it benefits the government. It actually benefits Donald Trump. And in this case, the prosecutor, Alvin Bragg, did not oppose Donald Trump's request to push the sentencing until later. And because he didn't stand up for, himself on this one, Judge Merchan was like, I'm not going to fight your battles for you. If you're not going to push back on this, then don't look at me. I'm not going to be the bad guy. And so Judge Merchan said, well, we'll push it. And that's a shame because there's no reason to delay this. I mean, in this case, like every case, you got to follow the evidence and the law and ignore politics and the noise. Here, they listened to the noise. They gave Donald Trump yet again what he wanted.
So there's an analyst who writes that the district attorney's office put Judge Merchan into an unenviable bind by agreeing to Trump's request to delay the sentencing. Why would the Manhattan DA do that? Does this support Trump's position that, yep, it's all political, even though this works in his political favor?
It's hard to know exactly why the DA did what he did. I think it was because the DA didn't want to look any more political than he did. But, if you choose not to decide, you'll still have made a choice, as the lyric goes from the band Rush. I mean, by not taking a position, you have taken a position. You are treating him differently. You're treating him better. And you're laying it all on Judge Merchan. And that's not fair because, the prosecutor has a role, an adversarial role to the defense. And when he won't stand up for his position, then he's going to put Judge Merchan in that untenable position, and he capitulated. I don't blame Judge Merchan for this. This didn't have to happen. I think Alvin Bragg should have been more aggressive on the timing of the sentencing.
I mean, let's make the point that all of this remains uncharted territory for this country. But are there implications in Judge Merchan's decision for independence of the judiciary? Have we gotten to a point where the law and politics, Dave, are inextricably intertwined? How do we break that, if so?
You follow the lead of Judge Chutkan, Alex. The way to do it is to see what she did. She said in Washington, D.C., in the election interference case, that I don't care about the election. I don't care about politics. We're going to follow the evidence and the law. And when Jack Smith said, let's get this ball rolling, she said, yeah, we will. In fact, we're going to have a hearing in 3 weeks. We're going to get pleadings where Jack Smith's going to apparently reveal some new evidence we didn't know about Donald Trump's threats to Mike Pence, stuff from the grand jury. So that is the opposite of what we saw in New York. And I think that's the way it should be done, even though the Supreme Court is putting its thumb on the scale and prevented a trial in that case. Judge Chutkan still has enough power to say, let's at least get this thing rolling. It doesn't matter that there's an election in November.
Yeah. It was interesting when you had, in that particular case, Tanya Chutkan's case, you had the Trump jurists, the Trump attorneys, they were saying, oh, you shouldn't get drawn into an election dispute. Here's her quote. I love it. Oh, I'm definitely not getting drawn into an election dispute. Mic drop. I mean, that was quite powerful right there. Let me quickly, though, ask you about another situation that is an extraordinary one we've been talking about on the news, the charges that have been filed against the father of the alleged school shooter in Georgia. We did see a similar approach in the Oxford, Michigan school shooting, which convicted both parents of Ethan Crumbley. Advocates, Dave, are saying that it's a warning to gun owners. Critics are arguing it shifts blame to parents in the absence of a political solution to mass shootings. Which side is right?
Well, the prosecutors are right. We've had enough of these school shootings, and you're not going to stop them by threatening these kids with life in prison. They don't care about that. In fact, rarely do they ever survive these shootings. It's rare that someone turns themselves in like this one. He laid down his arms and surrendered. That's rare. But at some point, parents have to be responsible. This is not going to make parents responsible in every case. The only times we've ever seen parents held responsible criminally in a case of a school shooter have been the most egregious cases, like the Crumbly case, where they had a troubled son, and instead of getting him a therapist, they got him a gun, and they ignored his warning cries, and they refused to take him home from school. Here in Georgia, you had something similar. You could even say it was worse, because instead of getting their troubled son a gun, he got him an AR-15 style rifle, even after he was alerted by the FBI that his son apparently wanted to be a school shooter. What kind of parenting is that? He should be held accountable.
Okay. Talk about mic drop. You just said it there. Thank you, Dave, my friend. Good to see you. So there are so many burning questions about Tuesday's debate, not the least of which is